Okay. All right, everything seemed to be working. Gotta make sure. Yep. Alrighty then. I know as of this taping is the day before Thanksgiving, and people are probably preparing food and all that good stuff. It's all good. Nothing wrong with that. I did, hello Sonia. I did say I was going to do this elephant, and I'm going to do this elephant. This is the geek portion of the show. About 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I decided to do something with this light situation. All right. If I shut the light off, you'll see quite a difference there. You can see it gets much darker. All right, what I have is a ring light around the camera. All right, I'll pop it back on there. And I can adjust the colors. I can adjust the intensity of the color. I can make it a little bit brighter. All right, that's about as bright as it's gonna go because it's daylight already. I can still adjust the focus and everything. Okay, as you can see what I just did, because I changed the light, and you can see, you know, I can adjust it. It's my old camera back now. All right, so it made a big difference. I don't have to use that other light that was very intrusive. I don't have to use a light that would show off that big bright blotch, and you guys couldn't see what I was doing. All right, I should have did this a long time ago, but I decided to really take my time and actually look and see what equipment I have to put the giant ring light on. And so I did that. All right, okay. I also figured out why I was having issues with my webcaster, which is actually pretty simple, and it made sense because I have an HDMI splitter. I'm using 3 cameras. All right, camera 2, camera 1, all right, camera 3. Okay, but with the switcher, I also have an HDMI splitter, which splits the single video signal into 2, going into a monitor and going into the computer. Well, everything did work as it's supposed to work. I thought it was my I have a video and a picture player hooked up to the switcher. I thought that was the problem. It was not the problem. When you have a single source being split into 2, okay, they both have to be on. They don't have to be, they have to be turned on. All right, they don't necessarily have to be recording or anything. They just have to be turned on. The computer, as you know, has an off mode. It has a sleep mode, right? And there's another one, inactive or whatever. Anyway, all you have to do really for the computer is press the space bar and it turns back on again or wakes up. That's what I didn't do. Okay, and it's one of the sources. So all I had to do really is just press the space bar, and I didn't do that. But now that I know, because I had to actually last night really sit down and use my geek brain to figure out what was going on, because everything was working, but that was the issue. That was the problem. I was trying to take everything apart and examine everything else, but all I had to do was press the space bar. So now that I know that was the issue, we shouldn't have really any problems. I do have a choice to go through StreamYard or just go through my webcaster. Right now I'm going through my webcaster. So you don't see the intro screen, you won't see the exit screen or anything like that. It's just me popping on, and I can be on here as long as I want with my webcaster. Obviously on StreamYard, if I'm not paying for it, you got a certain amount of hours or whatever. So I got those two options. All right. Okay, enough of that. Oh, about the camera in the ring light. Because the camera's in the middle of the ring light, it raises the camera. Okay, that does make a big difference. As you see here, you see everything is pretty much even. This board, if I put my hand like this board is at a slant like this. Okay, all right. Now, when the camera's lower, that means that both sides of the painting is obscured. It's like this, because the painting, the physical painting, is bent backwards. So when the camera's lower, the bigger the tilt, the more the angle, these sides turn inward. So you have to adjust the camera to try to straighten it out. But if you straighten it out, the bottom here turns inward. So you got to try to adjust it. Now that the camera's raised higher in conjunction with the angle going back, now what it does is straighten everything out, because you got two angles and you finally get a meeting point, and therefore you get something that's pretty much straight. That's also was an issue. So as you can see, that's pretty darn close. And because I got the camera situated that way, I can still pivot and move the camera any which way, considering depending on what size the canvas or whatever I'm painting on is, I can still adjust it. And with this camcorder, I can zoom way out or zoom way in. Okay, so anyway, that's the geek portion of this, and that was some of the issues that I had to try to make this somewhat a pleasurable experience, and something that you guys don't really have to kind of guess, or it looks kind of annoying, because that also, as you can see, it kills the shadow, that ring light. See, there's barely no shadow at all. Okay, all right. Okay, and it also forced me to get a little closer and a little more toward a pretty decent angle, so I can do the painting or whatever I have to do. All right, so all of that goes into making videos for you guys. I think I was up about 2:30, around 3 in the morning to do this, because it was quiet. Obviously, I'm not going to get disturbed at that time of night / early morning, so I can really take my time, turn on my brain, and really see what the heck was going on. Hey, Rosemary, happy Thanksgiving back. Happy Thanksgiving to Sonia. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. So as of right now, it's what, 12:21, Thanksgiving Eve. I don't think I have to go out anywhere. I think I did whatever little bit of shopping I did yesterday, bring it to the house. So I don't think I have to go really anywhere. So I can devote my time to doing this. This is the last portion of this painting. Okay, so we'll get on to the painting now. As you see, you can see the black lines. All right, 3 of them. Obviously 4 slats of wood. Okay, everything obviously is totally dry. Good. I had to take an X-Acto knife and cut, all right, the paint. You have to, because if you paint over it with acrylic, okay, oil, not so much. Acrylic, yes, because basically you're painting on plastic when it dries. And it develops a film. Of course it does. When it hardens and seals, it's going to seal over the crack. Now, if I did the painting, never cut it, and go to take it apart, because it is a quad, and put spaces in between it, when you peel it apart, it's going to peel the paint, because the paint is just sitting right on top. Okay, so be careful if you paint on wood or some very smooth surface like this. If you take your nail, if you make a mistake and just scratch it, you're going to scratch that thin layer right off. All right, therefore, cut it. Okay, so when it comes apart, the only thing that comes apart is what's supposed to come apart, which is the wood slats and not your painting. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind if you do a triptych, which is 3, all right, or you do the double, okay, or you do the 4, all right. Keep it in mind. Acrylic paint, once you paint over a split, it's going to cover over it, harden, and it's now part of the painting. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, Let me refresh my chat because sometimes, all right, sometimes people talk and it doesn't register, so I have to close it out and open it back up again. Okay, so we'll get on with the festivities. I do have a photo of an elephant, and I did say I was going to show you how to do this. I was going to do it with just do it with the paint. That might not be a good idea. Some people may want to try to do this painting. Okay, and I'm going to show you a way, especially if you don't really know how to draw animals. I don't do too many of them myself. I gotta kind of be in the mood, but that's just me. Some people are excellent animal painters. That's all they do. Okay, I do them when the mood hits me, you know. Then I'll paint something. All right. Okay. The elephant here, which is on my lower right here on my tablet. The elephant is a male. It's a bull elephant, and it's reaching up to actually grab some of the leaves above here. Okay. All right. It's stretching to do so, but all four legs are firmly planted on the ground, hence the shadow that you see here. All right. Okay. Hey, Lisa B, Shane, how you doing? How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Ah, Shane, you're in Australia. I know you guys don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but happy Thanksgiving anyway. It's good to see you guys. Eventually, I'll get on to sketching this elephant. I'm just running my mouth. All right. Now, the psychology of painting an animal. After my coffee. I do drink massive amounts of coffee. I just do. Okay. It's good to see you guys. All right. Eventually, what I'm going to do also, this is another geek portion, is somehow I'm going to, because my cameras, every one of them are firmly attached to what they're attached to, the camera stands and everything. My webcam, which, to be honest with you, I think it does take the best, it has the best photo, really. And yet, it is the one that I can move the least. But if I wanted to kind of show you guys something or show you part of the room, I would really use that, but I would have to buy another attachment where it just pops right off, and then I can show you guys what I'm talking about. The best I can do really is just to describe it to you, but I do have it here. As I'm looking at it, I gotta think now, not for myself when I do these videos. I have to think for you, because you don't paint as often as I do, and you might not have a background in illustration like I do. So me doing these things is relatively, I guess, simple, because I've done it all my life. Okay. I was a comic book artist before I became a painter. So comic book artists, people look down on or they frown on, but those guys paint, or not paint, but they draw everything. First of all, they got to be pretty much a good master of the human anatomy. And if they have to draw a dog, a duck, a dinosaur, whatever that the script calls for, they got to be able to pull that off. And they got a time limit, so they're pretty quick too. And I trained myself like that. Even though I haven't done comic art in a while, it's still in me because I've done it since I was a kid. So I have to show you how to do this for those of you who are into drawing beasties and such. Okay, but I have to do it in a way, in layman's terms, so that you can at least try it out. Okay. And when you do, when you encounter mistakes, in issues? Yeah, because I did. Everybody will. And those of you who say they never encountered anything like that are straight up lying. Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't encounter those issues. I do have a chalk pencil. Okay. I do have a white one also. The white one would probably somewhat be more visible, maybe. So if it doesn't show here, I would need you guys to let me know. Type it in that you can't see the marks or whatever. Then I'll do the white pencil. All right. Appreciate it, Shane. Thank you. All right. Enough babbling, I guess, right? Okay. So let's think about the placement. We got 4 separate pictures, really, even though it's all one. So, and obviously when you hang something like this up, you're going to put the space in between. Okay, you'll spread it out. Your eye will fill in the blanks. That's the reason for making a quad or a triptych or whatever. Okay, all right. So as I'm looking at Mr. Pachyderm here, I have to think in relation to where he is on the picture. The photo is the same orientation that the painting is, which is landscape. Okay, long side is horizontal, so we're landscape. If this was flipped the other way, it would be vertical or portrait. Okay, so landscape, turn it to the side, go vertical, portrait. All right. All right. So the proportions between this and the actual photo is pretty much spot on. They're both just rectangles. All right. So now it comes to just positioning and more or less creative licensing. All right, because I would like to, in a perfect world, have the animal, even if it's just a little bit, on all 4 slats. Okay, I might just be able, maybe, to pull it off. All depends on the positioning of the feet. All right, like I say, all 4 feet of the animal are firmly placed on the ground. All right, now as I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the photo and I'm looking at my painting, seeing where am I going to put Beastie. Okay, all right. I'm pretty sure you guys may not see this very well, you know, black on black here. Okay, all right. So as I see it in relation to the stats, and remember the elephant's head. Elephant's head. I'll do it this way. The elephant here, like this. Let me position my head. Okay, there is his trunk here. Okay, like that. All right. Well, his head is angled up, and the trunk is like this. Okay. His ear would be down here, and he's reaching for something, for the leaves there. That's the way he looks. Normally, his head would be here, the trunk would be on the ground, but his head's up, the trunk is up, kind of curved like that. His back is here. He got one leg back here and one leg here up front. They're pretty much together, but obviously in space because of the mass of his body. All right, but you do clearly see all 4 legs. All right. So now you just got to get into the positioning, really, of the legs. I want to tackle it from the position of the legs. That way I can correspond the rest of the body. Let's see if we can put this guy in all 4 slats, even if it's just the trunk. All right, a lot of thought and planning. Got to go into painting something like that so it kind of looks all right. All right, what kind of wood am I using? Let me describe it this way. Who's that? Lisa? Lisa, you know, on the old DVD shelves, you open the box, they got those slats of wood that you put in. They got the screw, the opening for the little pegs in the back, and you put your shelving in. That's what these are. These are just extras. I did the triptych floral with the first 3. Remember the orange background with the yellow flowers? Those are the first 3. These are the remaining 4. I had 7 of them left. They were just sitting in the closet for the past 3 or 4 years. Okay, I'm painting on them because I ran out of canvas. I ran out of watercolor paper. I painted them all up. So I'm like, once an artist starts painting up all of his painting canvases and stuff, we start painting on wood, curtains, t-shirts. We'll paint on something. Okay, I mean, Bruce painted on Eggos and or whatever, he was painting on toast and stuff. We'll find something, okay, to paint on. But that's what these are. These are just the slats that separate, the dividers or whatever for your DVDs and stuff. But that's what these are. Okay. And once again, if for those of you who didn't come in, this is the paint on the wood because it's flat. And I did prime it up and everything, but it's still thin. It's flat. If you make a mistake and you scrape across it, you're scraping off that paint just like that. So be very careful. Make sure your hands are clean, because whatever's sticky on your hands and you start rubbing, guess what? It comes off. In the beginning, I explained about the cuts because you can clearly see them. Because I took the X-Acto knife and you got to cut the paint, because this is essentially liquid plastic. When it's hard, it's ain't no plastic. So when you pull these apart, because they're taped, you pull them apart, guess what pulls apart too? The paint. You don't want that. That'll just ruin your whole day. Okay, you be calling the hotline. All right, let's get on with it. Let's see where I'm going to place this guy. Once again, I don't think well, if I do it hard enough, you might see. No, what happened is there it is. You see what happens? I just scraped the paint right off with a piece of lead. That's all I did. Okay, but that's all right because his foot's going to be there anyway. That's his outside foot. It looks like I might have to use white. The black isn't going to work. So, anyway, one's here. No, you're not going to see that. And I'm peeling the paint away anyway. So I'm going to have to use it. I might have to use the paintbrush. 1 foot is here. And now this is not going to work. It's too sharp. I'm going to have to use white. So we're going to use white paint instead. That's what I was talking about. So that's a perfect example. But it's okay because once again, his feet are going to be there. But that's how easy you can scratch through this paint. So 1 foot will be here. I'll just do it that way. 1 foot's there. That would be the foot closest. The other one is kind of at an angle, but it's right here. All right, like so. Now if I go in now, I'm gonna paint a negative space. It's like a little triangle right in here. Okay, so that's his foot right there, both feet. I'll just paint the negative spot, negative space in between them. Let's go over here somewhere, because I remember I have to keep this fella pretty much in some sort of proportion. He has one leg way out, like right about here. This is the other leg that's facing us, so we'll keep it right about there. The other one is going to be placed a little higher, but here. All right. Now the way I place his feet and where I place his feet is very important. All right. Very important where I place this guy's feet. Okay. Now in the picture, his feet are a little closer. I just can't because I have to fill enough of the area. Now that I see where I got this guy's his feet, I have to be careful. Actually, let me paint the negative space for his legs. That kind of helps me. Oh, sweetheart, hello, how are you? It's good to see you. What I got to do right now is imagine the proportions now, okay? As I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna do corrections as I do this. I know I'm going to do corrections, but that's okay. Well, I'm starting right from the bottom where I'm going to place the animal's feet. And as long as I place them where I placed them, we should pretty much be good. Okay. All right. Now, when I talk about negative space, it's the space in between the outside leg and the leg on the other side. There's a space there because they kind of cross. All right. Obviously, his foreleg is going to be, obviously, it's in front. It's closer to us a little bit. That's his foreleg over here. Okay, and it's coming out this way. The other one's coming back, but like I said, the way he got the animal has his foot placed, he's really settling himself just to arch his back and reach up and get his goodies up there. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's now work on the negative space of where his legs are. And when I'm looking at the negative space, I have to keep in proportion to where the lake, the little river is here. Okay, and where it's somewhat connected. So I have to be a little careful on proportion and where I want to put this leg of his. Okay. And as I'm talking to you, of course, the paint is drying on the brush. That's all right. So once again, I'm just doing pretty much negative space here. And elephants have a weird, obviously, body proportion. It's very odd. So when you're painting the guy, it may not necessarily look right until you keep going with it. Like that. And his back, like, it's really odd looking because he got his tail there, but I'll keep it somewhat like this, because it's weird the way this one is shaped. I'll keep it like that. All right, so that would be where his back legs will be. All right, and now we got his feet, because once again, this guy, his proportions are pretty odd. But it will look, you'll see, it'll be all right. Okay, so I got his back legs placed. His forelegs, real weird. I have to look and see where they are in relation to his feet. Because the animal's chest, in the bottom of his ear, I had to start it from the bottom of his ear. It comes slightly outward. It's weird, and it comes out this way like that. All right. Once again, I'm still keeping in proportion. This is the leg that's near us. You follow me? Okay. This essentially would be where his like where our shoulder is. Okay, because his shoulder is like up here. So it would bow out here. Let's get a little more water into the paint. Pretty much, essentially, it's like an elbow right there. Okay. It comes out. It's weird because it doesn't look right, but it's like that. The other one, it's like, because it's out here like this, and it's a funky angle that his leg is on, but it comes out here. It's like he's double jointed. It's very odd. Like that. The weirdest thing in the world. I'll probably make that a little longer like that. All right. So I got that little mistake there. What am I going to do with that? We're going to take it away. That's what we're going to do. It's all right. It'll just kind of wipe away. But I can also get rid of it in other ways. But it's all right. I'll tighten that up. It go this way. All right. Now, the belly of the beast, literally the belly of the beast, would be somewhere around in here. Now, for an elephant, okay, he's got a curvature, but the curvature is at an angle. All right. Going up that way. Okay. All right. And here it would be more like his belly's there. All right. Now I gotta be careful where with his head and such. Hey Linda, how are you? I see you. Oh, you got a birthday next week. No, who has the birthday? Ah, Joswina. Happy birthday. Okay. Now that I got this part, the ear of Beastie here, right around in here, I'll do it this way, it's the bottom of the ear. Okay, and it curves up. It's around in this area, like that, and it kind of, you know, it's got this little wiggly elephant ear flap things going right around in there. Okay, it comes out like that. All right. Now remember, his head is at an angle, and then it comes up almost like that. All right. Now, I can see right now I made the elephant way too large. A little late for me to do all of that correcting. So I'm going to have to, that's his ear. His back is somewhere over here. Like this. Yeah, I made him way too big. But that's all right. He's way too big now. But that's okay. Well, I'll do it this way. Because now his trunk will be way off the panel. So I'm going to have to improvise that. But it's all right. It's okay. I won't panic. It is okay. The rear end of this guy would actually be here. Well, this is where his knee is. His leg would be somewhere around in that area. And right around in here, like so. Now, it's weird the way his back leg is shaped, because it's here. It's really odd how he got his foot there. The back part of him is around, and it curves like right in here. I'm gonna have to bring that out like that, and well, I'll do it that way. I'm running out of water with the paint. Now, for those of you who might have a little fear of painting like this, don't be. Be there, that way. And I'll spread his feet out. You're gonna always have to do corrections, and that's fine. That will be okay. I already got his head angle, but that's okay. I'll turn his trunk. That's a good thing about an elephant in its dexterous trunk. So I will angle his trunk right here and go that way. So now I have to go into my creative license because I have to kind of correct it while I'm doing that. Right in here will be the tusks. The other tusk is actually here. Okay, that will be the other tusk. His ear is angled this way. Come up around like that. Like so. The other ear, believe it or not, is around here and it goes downward. His back is angled that way. His back legs or his rear end is a little higher and it comes that way like that. It aims down with this little flat part here, comes across, and then it goes up. All right. The guy's eye is up around in here. Okay. All right. The tail is all in proportion. The tail is pretty long actually, and it's down there. Okay. So basically, that's what he looks like. Okay, and I'm going to take that and I'll darken that, and then we're going to go with the shading and everything right from there. Okay, as I'm looking at it and at his proportions, I think this one's that's a little better. I'll spread his feet out a little bit more like that. All right. Now, I've still got the original colors to all of this. So am I worried about like any mistakes that I've made? Not at all, because I have the colors to replace what it is I may have painted over. You don't worry about that. Don't fret, don't panic. You're good. You're okay. All right. I will block the beastie in right now. I guess I'll use this. What color shall I block him in? Block him in whatever color I want, really. Okay, because it's going to be colored over with, obviously, elephant gray. All right. Okay. Let's pop this light on. Well, you guys can see it quite fine, actually. I don't need to pop that light on. Okay. Let's block him in. I could use straight. I'll use just straight black to block him in a little bit. I'll just bring the black right in here. I'll get a little touch of water. I'll thin out the paint a little bit, but I'll just block him in black. If I don't have enough, obviously it's black, I can just get some more. All right, and here we go. We'll block this fella in. We'll block in everything. I'm gonna need much more black, a little bit of water, just to loosen up the paint. I use heavy body acrylic paint. Usually when you block in animals, they tend to grow on you because if you sketched it out, okay, if you sketch it out, you may tend to go a little bit past the lines and whatnot. A little more water. when it comes to shading in the animal, it won't be as difficult. All right. And I can always look at it. I got the reference photo here. So I'm not worried about missing anything or painting over anything. I got the reference photo right here. As long as you got the main shape, you don't have to worry about all of that. And like I say, sometimes the animal will tend to grow on you, but that's all right. But as you can see, if you can look at a painting and automatically see just by the shape, what animal it is, you've won half your battle. Okay, just by the shape of the beast. All right. But she's pretty much, I got it in all 4 slats, which is also great. That also works. It works. Right here by the tail. Right now, it's all general shapes. Even here by the tail. And once again, I'm just blocking in the areas, getting rid of that white line. If you know you're working with a paintbrush that might be a little too thick for you, or you don't want to work with something like this, I understand. I get it. Don't use it. Don't use it. Okay. I'm gonna need more black and some more coffee. You guys can ask me questions. You guys can talk to me. I'm looking at the chat. You guys unnerve me. You're so quiet. You guys are so quiet. Block all that in. Yeah, I block in the legs. You're all right. As long as you got its proportions, and if you got a photo reference, don't worry about blocking it all in. Block it in. All right. Just block it in. Once again, as you can see, I do use thick paint. I prefer it because it reminds me of the oil paint that I used to primarily paint with. All right. I just want to get rid of that white line. Get rid of the white line there. Get rid of most of the white border. And just block all that in. If I have to, I'll use a smaller brush. It looks like I will. You gotta go somewhere?
No.
All right.
You're yelling.
It's the next door neighbor being the next door neighbor. Did you hear, were you in the kitchen, you heard the yelling?
No, in my room.
Oh, no, that's coming from the room. Well, I don't see their car here, so I don't know. I mean, it could be somebody outside.
No, it's just like the way they were talking. It sounded like Sonia or her sister, Aja there.
Oh,
I was
those.
like, oh, were they yelling at Hamza?
Well, I hope so. And telling him how worthless he is. Because he is worthless. He's a piece of work. Send him to one of them countries that still practice cannibalism. He'll be the Thanksgiving meal. All right. I said I was going to use a smaller brush. I lied. That's because I'm so used to doing this. But you don't have to. If I would follow the concept, but if you don't want to use a thicker brush to do what you see me doing, that's okay. I understand. I wouldn't. I'll make this a little longer, that tusk a little longer, because you're still dealing with perspective on each side. Okay. Alrighty then. Now, even at this stage, I can alter this elephant if I need to. So I'm going to go on and paint this fella. Don't hold back. No, I'm not going to hold back from that piece of work. No, he's an annoyance. He's a product of bad breeding. For real. Okay. So I'm still looking at this guy as I'm doing it. I feel I want to alter something, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Actually, it is actually kind of correct. It is. But once again, when I get to God, it's 1 o'clock already. I've been running my mouth that long. What I'm doing is actually I'm slowly sketching the beastie's legs here, and I'm slowly getting rid of the white border as I'm doing it. That's basically all I'm doing. So I know I'm going to do some alterations. All right. People are going absolutely crazy. As I'm talking to you guys, I'm listening to the news, and I guess in Virginia they had another shooting. It's just crazy. It's just unreal what people are doing. I'm going to expand that like that. Yeah, I'll keep it like that. Because it looks weird. Okay? It does. It looks odd. Basically, I could have made his I should have made his torso might be a little long. I should have made it shorter. But it's all right. We're gonna reshape and alter, but I don't think it will be too bad as I'm looking at it, and I keep looking at it here. Okay, like I said, I know that looks funny, but that's actually the way it is in the painting. It looks weird, but I think we're good. I think we're good. We're all right. We're all right. I can take a smaller brush. I'm gonna fine tune. I'm just getting rid of a lot of the white marks. Now, what you see as far as I'll show you. Because we'll get rid of a few things like in here. I'll just get a smaller brush for that. All right. Sounds like your neighbor. Yeah, we don't bother anybody really. We don't try to cause any hassles. No, nothing. We're pretty polite. Keep to ourselves. Especially to me, I don't. I'm kind of an introvert, so. And if I do meet them, I'm pretty polite. But sometimes, you just run into people who, I don't know, their existence doesn't seem to it doesn't seem to, I mean, they just gotta make your life miserable because they're miserable. It's not worth it, really. All right, we're gonna come this way. We're gonna tighten up some things here. That's all. Overall shape, tighten up a few things. Do the tightening up and everything first before you end up trying to do major alterations, because then you might find out that it's not as bad as you think. As you can see by the shine, it's still wet. You see the dry portions, you see the shiny wet portions. It's getting tacky right around here. And right, as you can see, I'm looking up at the monitor instead of looking directly at you, because I'm looking at where the shine is. Okay, alrighty then. So as I'm still looking at it, still checking it out, we're still good. The elephant is still in the direction of the leaf. The head is still angled upward. The tusks are there. He's pretty much positioned pretty cool. So he's pretty much, he's all right. He's all right. I'll tighten that up right in here. All right, always going to be a little bit of alterations. All right, let's get rid of that. We have that little bit of light grayish blue type of thing going on. We're going to take a little bit of blue. We'll put it right here. Can you guys see that? Yes, you guys can. I'll take a little bit of black, put it in there. Okay. Slight touch of white, like that. It's the good thing about a small color palette, is that you can pretty much quickly emulate whichever you had last. Okay, and you can still build up on it a little bit later. You know, really up to you. And as you see, presto changeo, it disappears. Yeah. And you'll never really know it's there. There, gone. Don't worry about it. Okay. Let me make some of that disappear over here too. All right, for the land. Same thing. I'll just take the blue. We'll take a little bit of red, and we'll just mix it in here. It don't matter. A little touch of green in there, and we'll brown it up a little bit. No biggie. Let's make it go away. And you're not gonna really notice that much either. All right. You're not gonna, especially when it darkens up or whatever, you're not gonna notice too much. We're gonna go back into our little darky color here, a little bit of black. And we're gonna thicken up that leg a little bit there. Bring out that foot a little more. Okay, and we're gonna bring out his foot there a little bit more. Put a more of a gentle curve there. All right, like that. Let's get rid of some of that white there. Come on around. Okay. Actually, I want his foot a little firmly planted there. All right. Plant his foot there. Not too much of a curve. And we're going to angle this one, bring that foreleg out like so. Okay. All right. We're good. We're good. All right. So let's chat while this stuff tacks up. You're a hermit, you avoid all neighbors. Yeah, people who love to cause drama and cause trouble are generally just overall miserable. And quite frankly, they're just miserable people. And yes, try your best to avoid them like the plague. Okay. All right. Now, if you're painting from a picture, and you're keeping it pretty much true to what it is, sometimes if you paint something and you look at it, even though it looks cool in the picture, sometimes it might be good to you not to really paint it. I'm going to show you why. All right. I'm going to take this thing apart and I'm going to show you why I can unplug it. I usually keep my tablets plugged in. I don't necessarily have to, but I do. But I want to show you something. Why I'm not going to add this part. I think it should be self-evident. Come here. Okay, here's the elephant. There she is. Okay, but I want you to see something there. Can you guys see that? Maybe not. Here, just turn it this way. Okay, just keep looking at it for a while. You'll see it. This is why I omitted that part. You can't see it? Here, just bring it closer. All right, I know you see the ring light. All right, so this is why I won't add that part to the tree. Okay, because it looks like it's reaching up for something too. All right, so we won't be painting that. All right, as you can see, I omitted it from yonder tree. Okay, but pretty much it's staying more or less true to the painting. And you see where the shading is, and whoops, get away, bird. You see where the shading is and all of that. Okay, all right. Creative license, people. You know, creative license. Creative license. Some things you just have to just let it go, let it go. What is that from? Where's that song from? Frozen. Half Frozen. Some cartoon movie, I don't know. All right. So you guys seen that. That's why I won't paint that. Okay. But from the painting, from the photo, you pretty much see that everything's more or less placed there. Okay, and if you notice as time is going by and I'm rattling away at my mouth, that is starting to tack up and dry. All right, okay. Now, how do you want to approach yonder painting? How do you want to add those details to the beastie? All right, we can do it a few ways here. I guess I'll take a script liner and I can take some gray of some sort. We'll go into the white here. This is a script liner. I'll just take a little bit of, I'll just go into here. Take a little touch of black and we'll just make a light gray there. Get a lot of water. Titanium white covers death, so it's pretty opaque. All right, I'm gonna twirl my brush around, blah, blah, blah. And let's start putting in more or less the proportions to what is what with this animal. Okay, obviously we know that the tusks are, we'll put Mr. Tusk, it's the start of it, we'll put it right there, all right? And we'll build from there. All right, this is the tusk that's closest to us there. All right, the ear. Remember, the ear's got this funky thing going on with it. We'll start the ear right here. And it comes this way. I need more water. The ink, the paint has to be very much inky consistency. All right, and then it got this weird little peanutty type of angle curve there, like this, and you know, curves around, and then it, with this weird peanut shape, it comes right about here, like that. All right, and it's this weird shadow thing here, because it's the cartilage part of the ear, so it's right in there. All right, okay. The tusk comes here and makes a little shadow, whatever. The beastie's eye, he got that little eye. Eye's like right around there somewhere. Okay, and then there's also some whatever going on in there. His head, the neck, comes right around in here, and it curves into his back like this, because that's the second part of the ear. The sunlight is hitting off a ridge in his back here, somewhere abouts. All right, that leg is straight. That leg is straight, and it's like that. I can thin that out a little bit. It's all right, but it's pretty much like that. That leg. Okay, like I say, he's stretched kind of odd. Okay. We do have some neighbors that are really cool, and I go and get their mail because they travel out of town, and I really don't see their car outside, so they're not home yet. So we keep their mail. All right. Right from where this part of his hip is, okay. Around the back portion is curved. And it's mainly in shadow, so it's pretty much like that. Can you see how things are starting to shape up now? Okay, this is actually Beastie's weird back leg. It curves, and the tail is here also. The tail. Actually, we'll do creative license. We'll make the tail that way, and it curves in this way. All right, like that. So that would pretty much be the Beastie's tail, then his leg. All right, just like that. And now it's looking more and more like the Beastie. Okay, here, this is just the weirdest part for the elephant, but his little elbow thing is like right around there, and it comes in, it's got this weird funky curve like that. It does, but it looks like an elephant. Even though it looks weird and it doesn't kind of look right, go with it. That's the way the animal's posed. Do it. And now, as you can see, it does look like ABC. Okay, and now with the animal, now we're dealing with light and shade and hue with colors. Even though I blocked it in black, now you can see that even though you blocked it in black, he's much closer to us because of his size in relation to the hill, the bush, the little river, the bank that he's on. You got me? Okay, so now, being that he's a dark subdued color, even though he's just blocked in, but he's larger than, pretty much theoretically, he's larger than everything else, so it brings him closer. So now he is here with the rest of the stuff. Okay, and because he's a little bit larger and a little bit ahead of the stump here, which it also brings him closer. You follow me? Okay, but essentially there's your Beastie. Okay, I didn't have to do circles and sketch him out, wherever it's all in proportion. They started with the feet. Okay, even though I made him a little larger than I supposed to, but still I was able to make that up and just adjust it. So instead of his trunk being straight up, I just angled it, which is also great because now we got the animal covering 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so it's all in composition and where you placed it. All right. Hey, Davy, how you doing, Davy? One of my best paintings? I think it's one of my more different paintings. But I appreciate it, thank you. Yeah, I used to, it's funny that you mentioned that, Davey, because as artists, we have our own favorites, which may not necessarily be everybody else's favorite. And that's perfectly fine. That's good as gold. Everybody's their own unique human being. They like what they like. We're just painters. We paint what we paint, or we draw what we draw. Okay. I'm one of those guys. When I started painting, I decided, well, I mean, it was just my nature of, one, being an artist like yourself. I used to do a lot of pen and ink work, and so I drew a little bit of everything. Or I didn't want to be limited to whatever. So I drew everything. Okay. Yes, I am narrowing this brush here. This thing should be, I should be playing taps for it. It's pretty much, it's outlived its real usefulness, really. I'll keep messing with it until it's real dying day, then I'll just get rid of it. I got a brand new one sitting over here. I got two of them, brand new ones, script liners. I go through them. So, all right, we did this. This is just mainly me talking, so whatever's supposed to be dry is dry. All right. Once again, acrylic paint, thicker body paint. Okay. This is where the real fun begins. Now we're gonna block this guy in. All right. We're gonna use, I've learned over the years so many different concepts and ways to do the beastie. I think she's still in focus. Okay. All right. So we got our little guidelines of where things should be, more or less. All right. Okay. Cool. Let's play with, let's make some gray. Gotta make plenty of it. Now, of course, we can make gray the old traditional, tried and true way that everybody would associate making gray. Black, white. How much of each determines that hue or intensity of gray. Of course, I can do that. Yeah. No fun in that. Can I do it? Sure. Do I want to do it? No. There's no, You can make gray out of a mixture of any color's opposite color. Okay. I want to show you something. If I can reach here and get it without destroying everything. Let's see if I can do that. I failed before. I failed again. It hit the ground. It's just one of my model planes. All right. It's okay. I'll live through it. This is a very well used color wheel. I'm gonna show you this. I specifically chose this one, to be honest with you. Okay, let's put it somewhere where I can show you guys here. All right, let's look at this for a second. And I did choose this one on purpose. Okay, get the light out the way. All right, this thing is like super awesome. Okay, gives you the colors, how much gradation you use for what and what have you. Okay, but anyway, let's look at this. Now, when I say color opposite, okay, I got it on this in between color. Let's just put it like this. All right. So, as you can see, the color opposite, direct color opposite, right on the bottom, this is red, go directly downward. And what does it go to? It goes to green. That's the color's opposite. When you put two opposites together, they cancel themselves out. They would brown each other out, or they turn neutral. When you add white to that neutral, it turns a variation of gray. Okay, you can have a cool gray, you can have a warm gray, but gray in itself is a very neutral color. You can add stuff to gray. Gray's a friend to everybody. It just says hello and it blends with everybody. It's a neutral color. Okay, let's go to yellow. Put yellow on the top. Look at it. What's the neutral of yellow? Go straight down. It's violet or purple. Okay, it's going to give you another tone of gray, more toward a warmer gray, kind of on a light brownish side, so warmer gray. But you can add white to it. You get another variation of gray. Okay, and you can make variations of browns using the same thing. You got me. Okay. Secondary color, orange. All right, orange is mixing red and yellow together. You got orange, but what is its opposite color? Well, it's telling you right now what the opposite color is. It would be blue. Cooler gray, darker. Good for tree bark and whatnot, but it will give you a neutral color. So adding those opposites gives you that neutral color instead of using just black and white. All right. So if you have trouble memorizing those colors, well, red and green, you think of a stoplight, right? Okay, that was blue and green. Yellow and blue, I guess you can associate that maybe with Halloween or candy corn or whatever. Yellow. Okay. What was the other one? Yeah, no, it's yellow and purple. You think of Easter. Yellow, purple, Easter. Red and green, stoplight. Blue and orange. Blue and orange. They're the opposites. And candy corn or Halloween or whatever like that. Blue and orange colors. Okay, think of it that way. All right. I did all this talking, nobody's saying nothing. I feel so bad. Okay, no I don't. So what two colors should I mix? I'll just use red and green. I don't have too much green, so we'll just get some more green. So we'll mix it. Opposite with red and green. All right. But it's funny. I'm really I started out painting Davy, doing what the Bob Ross thing, a lot of trees and mountains and streams and waterfalls and deciduous trees, pine trees, and stuff like that. I did a lot of that. I experimented with florals, but I didn't have any confidence, and I didn't think you can do florals the way I want to do florals with the wet on wet style of painting until I seen the Jenkins do it. Gary and his wife Catherine, who've been doing it for almost 60 years. And they did wet on wet style roses and other flowers like it. I mean, they can do the wet on wet style florals. They can do anything they want, really. They don't do very many landscapes and stuff like that, but they can do them. They do beautiful figure drawings. They don't do it because they don't like it. Like Gary, he doesn't think he's very good at it, which he's crazy. But he can paint anything. He can truly paint anything. But his florals are outstanding, out of this world. I know he's in his 80s. He just had a birthday. He's in his 80s and just as active and energetic, and he's just living his best life. So he's still doing it. I'll call him and talk to him time to time also. Yeah, I do speak to them. And they actually reached out to me. So it's pretty cool story there. All right, I'm going to get we'll do this. We'll use one of my beat up brushes. Oh, this is too crazy. Maybe, I'll do it. I'll use this. It's all right. I'll talk to you guys. We're gonna start to add our tones and shades. We're gonna mix this color up. Okay. Should I really use this? Yeah, I'll use it anyway. If it sucks, then I'll just get rid of the brush. All right. We're gonna come right here where you can see everything. I know it's a mess here, but that's all right. We'll deal with it. Red is an extremely staining color. Okay. Use a little red, more green. Okay, mix it in there. All right. As you can see, it's starting to cancel out. You see it's starting to turn brownish. Okay. Canceling each other out. I could actually probably use this for a starting point. Okay. I believe I should. And I believe I will. A little on the green side, but that's okay. All right, let's use this greenish stuff. What I'm going to do is start to do more or less the mid-ground stuff. All right, especially back where his leg is, because his leg is partially shaded. All right, you guys don't see it. It's pretty dark. It's all right. You'll live. And I'm just blocking in where I want a lot of that to be seen. I'm just, once again, just blocking in. Quickly block in the color. Now, because you don't see it, you see that it's wet. That's about all you see right now. I'm just looking at where some of this shading is on this guy. Of course, you don't see that very well. We'll put a touch of white in there so you can see it. I'll blend it in. Okay, and this is mainly for you so you can actually see what I'm doing here. All of this is pretty much one color. Even in here. Slowly shade and block this fella in. Okay. He's got a little curve back there. I'll be mixing some more of this color. Okay. I'm going to use this black to my advantage also, because there are some spots to Beastie that let's bring it right about here. It's a triangle kind of shape right here and right here. If I can get it there. Right in there, and we'll just block the rest because the sunlight is hitting in a certain way with Beastie. All right. Right in there. It's pretty lit up here too. I'm looking to right in here. You gotta look carefully to where the shadow is with Beastie. All right. And once I'm just really scumbling in where this stuff is. All right. He does have a slight shadow by his ear, which is what I'm a 67-pound goldfish. Nice. And I named it Carrot. Nice. It is a massive goldfish. Okay. Personally, I would name it Dinner, but you know, to each their own. Okay. Just blocking in where it's really dark at. Let's continue on while I'm talking. If anybody got any questions or any statements, I love this elephant. I've always been too intimidated to try an elephant. You gotta, as the German painter used to say, you have to fire in. You just gotta do it. I shied away from them too for a while, you know, until I was obviously asked to paint pet portraits and paint pet portraits, and had to do portraits of my dog Bluto and the cat Precious. So I did a painting of them together. I still have it. It's in my photos somewhere in there. They're hanging on the wall right now, as a matter of fact. Okay. As I'm looking, obviously not the final color, but once again, we are just, it's pretty much dark there. The tail's lit up, but it's pretty much dark otherwise. Let us use some of this original color, and we're going to go up top here. Get out of there. Now when I go overboard like that, as you can see it there. It's all right. You got a short window. You got a little window to get rid of that. It's all right. Very lightly, just kind of brush it out of there. The water takes care of it. Just be careful. All right, you see the little stain there, right? But it's okay. It's all right. You still got a little time. Just get rid of it. I'm just wiping off the brush. And I'll just blend it in with the other stuff. You'll never know once it dries. But sometimes you'll do that. You'll go over it a little bit. And it's all right. It's all right. You know, once it dries, you're not going to tell anyway. So no biggie. See, I'm just wiping it away. Wipe off the brush. And just sop it up. You're gonna be all right. Okay, you don't have to go into depression or anything. You'll be okay. Okay, I'll just use my finger, blend in the rest. It's no big deal. There, gone. Don't cry about it. You'll be all right. All right, let us continue on up here. Same color, just add a little bit of white. Same color we're using. Just dip it in there. Once again, I'm just blocking with different it's a little dark there. Just where it's pretty much dark at. It's actually dark over there too. Just aim this stuff toward the front first. This is the leg that's in front of us, right in here. Now, that should be dark. It should not be lit up. And if you do that, okay, it's all right. Just kind of wipe it away a little bit. Like so. Get rid of some of that there. There. So you just wipe some of it away. It's all right. You'll be okay. It's a little bit. Once again, I'm gonna just use the black. It's a little bit of a weird shady thing right in here, and it comes angled this way, something like that. Yep, somewhere around in there like that. The rest is pretty dark. Now, what am I going to do about that part? Okay. And you make a little bit of that disappear, thin it out a little bit. But we'll do something with that. We'll just get the bulk of that, make it kind of disappear a little bit. All right. Okay. Let's add a little more white to this color. Once again, I'm just blocking stuff in. See, you can't forget that ear right here. Don't forget the ear. Okay. The ear is catching the bulk of the light over here. Scumble it in. I'm just scumbling in shapes. There's not much black here. Okay. And once again, I'm just scumbling in color. You see it's starting to what's starting to happen here. All right, it's slowly starting to come together. Okay, once again, hashtag don't panic. Now pretty much known for painting florals, as you know. So when I do an animal painting or whatever, it shocks people because they mainly tend to concentrate on usually the flower aspect of my painting venture, which is fine. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. It's all good. Okay. Nothing wrong with that at all. I am not mad at them. But it does leave them kind of surprised when they see that I can do other things. Because when I came online, I really did not showcase a lot of the comic work or pencil and ink work and things like that. I just didn't. I really just concentrated on a lot of the regular traditional style painting. Once again, it's all good, you know. Okay. We have a little bit of shadow, right up in there like that, and then we're gonna go in this direction. Right up in here, shape this guy right up. Marry some of that color together with his ear. It's all right. Get as close as you can. We're gonna cover up that eye, doesn't matter. Just scumbling the colors, all right. And then we'll get into the other part. All right. As you can see, you know, she's starting to fill out here. Okay. Alrighty then. He has a little bit of shading by the tusk, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay, there. What is my favorite thing or subject to paint? Well, Davey, much like yourself, I'm a creature guy. I like my dinosaurs. I like my King Kongs and Godzillas and stuff like that. I just don't paint them. Why don't I paint them? Probably because it's a subject that's kind of a niche. You have to kind of be around people who also enjoy that subject and who would probably buy one of my paintings based on that subject, which is a very small group of people. If you look at the overall worldly scheme, artistic scheme of things, they're kind of a localized group. I've done a few. I did the creature from Stranger Things. I did a couple of Godzilla pieces. The one that's one of my favorite is when I did a piece of Godzilla coming out of the water. He's got water come out of his mouth. There's clouds or whatever. It's just his head shot with his mouth wide open, and he's he's like in the foreground is a battleship with sailors like scurrying and running and whatever. This is back when Godzilla versus King Kong, when they were starting to do the commercials and build up hype for Godzilla versus King Kong. That's when I did it. All right. The reason why I don't do too many of them is because probably the time involved, because animals take time. Even fictional animals take time. You got to make sure you get them right. The scales, his proportions, the head's overall shape, blah, blah, blah. Much like the elephant, you got to get it right. And he's so scaly, and I don't really want to take all that time to do it. And this is really something for me. I did a few detailed ones for my brother. He's a big Godzilla fan. So I did do a few for him. Where I took the time and actually, did it. But I do like the creature ones. I did the clown from It a few times, a couple versions of him. Dracula, Christopher Lee version, I did too. They're on my wall in my photos. I did them a few years back. But I do like the creature stuff. But my favorite subject to paint, probably, I think it's still Probably florals. I like to do because there's so many ways to do them. So so many ways to do them, but after a while I get tired of them, and then I'll start doing stuff like this. You know, when I did Noah's Ark, the big ark, which is boxed up, it's like sitting on the side over there. I had to get cardboard boxes, box it up, and get ready to hold on. I'm still there. It should pop back on. There. Okay. Usually that comes after about 90 minutes. And it's 1:30, exactly 90 minutes. And the computer would shut off. So if you guys seen a black screen, that's why. That's what I was explaining. But yeah, when the computer shuts down or goes to sleep, everything goes pew, because it's attached. The HDMI switcher is attached to a splitter. One goes to my monitor up here, the other one goes to the computer. And so when the computer shuts down, the Epiphan shuts down. All I have to do is tap on the screen and it comes back. That's why I say, you know, just hold on. You would probably still hear my voice, but hold on. I'll just, you know, click the button and it comes back. All right, so we're 90 minutes in exactly, because that's how long it took for that to do it. I timed it at, you know, I did the timing for 90 minutes. Let's put the raggedy brush away. Let's get to a thinner brush. A little white. We'll lighten up this gray a little bit. It's got blue in it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. All right. And we'll come and we'll block in his little tuskies right here. Now, when it comes to blocking these guys in, and that's all you're doing really, is just blocking it in. I might do a little station identification break here soon. Now, technically, I don't really have nothing happening. Some people might be working. Some people have a day off or whatever, or got a short day. And as far as I know, I don't have to go anywhere, so I'm just chilling here at the house. Sometimes I'll get in my truck and I'll drive around just to get out of the house a little bit, but if I don't have to go anywhere, I don't. Now, I want to show you something here. If I feel like I have something here that needs to be a little bit on the corrected side, I will. Okay. Now I like basically the tusk like that. I really don't want it to be too thick, but you see I put that black line there. All right. There's always a correction. That's all right. I'm going to take some green into this gray, bleach it out a little bit, and we're just going to make that. We're going to hide that, just like that. When it's all done, you're not even going to know I did the correction anyway, because it's so close to the color. All right, you guys aren't going to know. See, it's already blended. You won't have a clue. All right, so there's always a correction. You can always do corrections. Okay, you'll really never notice it. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of yellow. We'll put it right here. A little bit of this off-white. It looks a little dirty, a little cruddy. It's all right. We're gonna get a little brown in there. Get a little more white if I can get it out. Nope, I just contaminated it with green, so we'll get rid of that. Let's get a little more white. We'll kind of put it in there like that with the yellow. A little more yellow. Bit of red. Touch it. A little more white. A little little more yellow than that. And we'll let that darken up a bit. We'll let it darken up. All right. Hey, Lisa B. 45 years. Congratulations, oh sweetie. My goodness. All right. Davey, if you're still here, I have to do this guy's comic. I was the original artist on it a while back. It should have been done, but I ran into life issues and I didn't do it. So I will get it done. It will be obviously black and white sequential art, and I'll get it done. I'll do it. Okay. As I'm looking, I did, well, not really forget, but I overlooked it. I'm just going to get a little bit of red, a little touch of what's left of the white. I'll get some more white. I'll make some more. Not really too, you're not going to really see this tail, well, creative license, but you're not going to really see too much of this guy's tail lit up really. But once again, creative license. Much like that. We'll bring the tail this way. Okay, so the tail's actually right there. All right. You know what? It's up to you guys, but I'm going to take a little station identification break. And then we're going to smooth all this out. We're going to get one more or less main color. All right. And we're going to use what we blocked in to our advantage for this. Let me do something else because I have to bring some paint back anyway. It's a distinction right here. Definite distinction where his hip bone is. They got a little patch of love right in here too. I think it's just whatever he got on his side. And it's a bull elephant, so it is a he. Why am I doing it now? Why am I doing what I'm doing right now? Because it will show through when you put the other color in. Especially when you start glazing and stuff like that. All right. His ear is truly that bright. Let's, oh cheat, I'll take a little black if I can, let me dig out some here. Right around ear area here, right in here. Right up in here. There. Yeah. Certain things that you kind of, you have to do here. Actually, it's really pretty bright there. He's got a little knob there too, but we'll get with that. Get to that when we get there. So there's certain things that that I'm doing that definitely will be shown. Okay. We're gonna keep the darkness here. Yep. And we just start building off lights and darks. Before I go to my little break, that trunk is actually, we'll start it from here. That trunk is actually dark on one side. I'm looking at my painting on the big screen TV just to make sure everything's copacetic here. We'll darken up the top of his head because he's underneath the tree. All right. Okay. All right. You guys get yourself a coffee. I need some. Mine's cold. This will still be on. I'm gonna shut down the audio. I will return. I'm not shutting it. I'm not turning this off, but I will activate my. Let's get rid of this. It's kind of a process, and you're not gonna hear my voice anyway. Let's get rid of that. Okay, you see that little balloon thing there? Like I said, my voice is gonna cut out anyway. I'm gonna put the mute on, but we'll get this guy started. It's kind of funky because this one remote controls both units, so it's gonna look strange until I get it going again. All right, so All right, see if you can hear me now. I think you should be able to. I think everything should be good. Let me know. Let me know if you hear me. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me talk? Okay, good. I had to switch the audio. All right. And I think you guys can see the elephant pretty decently. And we're going to move right along. What I'm going to do is get some more white, because we're going to dive right into the beastie here. And the general color I will use for the beastie will probably be the, we'll have,
Did get something for me.
all right. Well, I have to get something. I'll be right back. I won't put it on the whatchamacallit. But I will return.
Maybe I can get a hood up there.
If you're not able to get it, I can get it.
All right, I'm up on the ladder right now looking.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay. Hey, you're home but working. Home for 4 days. Wow. Awesome. Okay. Let's get some color going. What I'm going to do, you guys can see it pretty clearly. I'm going to dig into, let's go with our green. Let's get plenty of it here. All right. I'm using a filbert brush. We can tap into some red, and we're going to whip that red up. Obviously, I got more green in it than red. It's okay. All right. Mix it red up just like that. Nice dark color here. All right. Get the rest of that off my brush. Go into our white, and we'll make a nice little gray there. Get some more white. Got to mix in plenty here. Now, as you see, this gray, it's got a little bit of green in it. No problemo. Okay. I got a lot of it on my brush. Yeah, that's okay. Dip in a little more red in it. And we'll get it back to that brownish look. Just like that. Keep whipping it up. It will mix and it will blend. See, now we got that little bit of a red tinge to that gray. It is fine. Then we'll pop in some white, lighten it up a little. It's just titanium white. There we go. See that? This will be our main color for the elephant. Hopefully I whipped up enough. We should have. I'm just taking a bunch of it off of my brush here. Then I'll take it with my palette knife. I'll kind of corner this stuff. off there. I got plenty of it here. And with the palette knife, I can mix it a little more, but I like the consistency and the color of what we have right there. Okay, dokie then. As you know, well, it's not a filbert brush, it's a flat. Okay, we're gonna take this and we're gonna scumble on some of the true color of the elephant. Okay, I'll start from, we'll start from around his brightest part, up around in here somewhere. And I'm just gonna scumble some of this color onto this fella. I'm gonna scumble a little bit, fade a little bit, because the paint's still somewhat wet. I can use my fingers, all right. Yes, I'm covering that bright spot. It's okay. And we're gonna go right to its edge. And you're gonna do this in layers. And layers and layers and layers. Okay. You're not necessarily getting rid of what you've put down before, because it will show through. Using every bit of that paint. I'm just scumbling. It makes it smoother. Circular motions, like so. Okay. And this is how we build up our layers to the beastie. Okay. We're gonna come out here, do the same thing. I'm going into the dark, not necessarily covering all of that dark. I won't do that. Okay. That I won't do. We're gonna come in. We're gonna come in and get rid of that white line. Get rid of that white line. And I'm gonna scumble the rest. All right. You take a little bit of paint, very little bit, as you see. And whatever black that I have, get rid of it. I'll wipe it off my brush. Paint's still a little wet. You can scumble off into the darker areas. Okay. And you keep working at it. Okay. And I'm getting the general color of beastie. Okay, let's go up underneath. Now, as I go up underneath, not necessarily getting rid of all of that dark or that light. I'm smoothing everything out, because once again, we're going to be building up a lot of this. Wherever you have a little bit of that black showing through, cover it up. So I'm still checking things out here. Yeah, as you see me scumbling away here, whatever little bit of patches and whatnot, lightly just faded away. Okay, very lightly. I'm gonna take the smallest amount of white very small. And where it was a little bit lighter, I'm gonna scumble in some of that lighter version of the same color in the general area. And you build it up. Once again, you just build it up like you build everything else. Just build it up. Slowly build it up. Okay. Just take another little touch of white. Very small amount. I'm using the side of the brush. Okay. And you can either tap it in like this. And you just look very carefully where everything is. You can tap it in. And just building those light sources. Very gradual. Very gradual. Okay. There's a little bit of that light source on his lower belly there. Okay. Very lightly, you put it in there. Okay. All right. Let's take a little bit of the original color, and we're going to come up around in here. And I'm going to just lightly shade that part just to blend it in with the creature a little better. Take a little bit of that color. We're going to keep going. We'll get into other details. You got to give a chance for the beastie to dry too. But with acrylic paint, it doesn't take very long. I'm going up underneath. Take a little small touch. I'm doing it section by section also. Okay. I'm wiping off my brush. I gotta lightly blend in all of this. All right. Do a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Don't try to do it all at once in one big rush, especially around the eye area and part of the jaw in here. All right. I'm looking at the photo in itself. You know, elephant doesn't necessarily have the smoothest skin in the world, so keep some of those rough patches. Whatever bones, any protruding bones, obviously going to catch the light. So you pretty much concentrate on that a little bit. Do it a section at a time. Working on this head, the little triangle area of the head. I'm doing where the massive blocks of light is, where the bones are pretty much sticking sticking out. As long as you can recognize the sections in the general area of where you're catching the beastie's light, okay, you know you're pretty much going on the right track. Okay, I'm bringing some of that lighter color into the darker shades a little bit. All right. Once again, you tackle this a little at a time, a part at a time. I'm going to take a small amount of black. We'll put it right there. Take some of this color. Kind of mix and blend that in a little bit with a little bit of the black. A little bit. Where it should be a little dark at, you know, you just tap a little bit in there. You just rub in where it's dark. Hopefully my head isn't too much in the way. I'm just looking at where the gentle darks are. And you blend it in very softly. Blend it in. And blend it into its lighter area. Okay. So it still maintains that color. You got me? It's just a little darker. Right underneath where that tusk is here. All right. Take some of that same darkness and you come back, because you know the tusk and part of his head is underneath the brush in here. All right. Once again, you handle it a piece at a time. Let's see what you got to say. Our hearts with hearts. How are you doing, Arabella? Hey. Hey, Lori. My goodness. How are you, Lori? Happy Thanksgiving. Why does he have to be a big... Oh, why do he have to be a boy elephant? Well, that's the picture I chose. So, boy elephant it is. So, you know, if you're in your feelings, more than happy to put a tuskless female elephant in there. No problem. Or, you know, you can do an elephant and put a bow around his ear or something. I don't know. You know. But yes, it is a male elephant reaching for some goodies. Reaching for some goodies. I'm just building up a little more darks around certain areas, and it helps bring out certain body parts more, obviously. So you start in general. You start in general shapes, and then you start popping in little details. Okay, so obviously that brings out that ear that much more. Obviously there's shadow here underneath the tusk, obviously, right? We're going to darken this part of the ear, which also shows off the neck bone of the beastie. So you just darken this part. Like so. See, now you got that nice slope of color there. You got me? I know you do. I know you do. Okay. Black mixed in with the original elephant color there. Oh, I can empathize. I can empathize. This goes to the hindquarters, the dark part here, which a lot of this would not even be seen right around in here. And I'm going to blend it slowly into the color that's shown. And now you can really shape out and accentuate where the tail would be. Here's a curve. I'm going to slowly paint in that curve right here. Now, as I'm doing this, and you see me looking in this direction, but I'm looking up, I'm looking actually at the screen to make sure I got everything right. Everything's kind of flowing there. Okay. And it's actually a lot darker than what you're looking at. It's probably almost a jet black. So we'll gradually get it there. So I'm looking at it as I'm doing it. And I'm slowly getting it darker. I don't want it to be like super jet black. So we're just building it up, building it up, building it up. And I would really have to wait till it dries and settles to see if I have to add more to that. But that's actually what I'm doing, what you see me doing right now. Okay. And I don't want such an abrupt change in the black going into its skin color, so we'll kind of blend that in too. All right, much like what you're looking at, what you see me do right now. And I tackle each section like this. A lot of it is more or less creative license, a lot of what you see me do here. As I'm looking at the painting itself, okay. Okay. Right underneath the ear, a little dark there. Start right from the ear. Just like so. You see, that's just that little bit. Okay, that helps. And it's also up to me, up to you too as an artist, if you want that shadow to be sharp or blend it out a little bit. It's really your it's really your preference. There's different tones and gradations of dark. You got me? Okay. I'm gonna re-wet the brush. It gets the extra paint off. It kind of shapes the brush back up again. And we're just gonna go back into this dark. And I'm just gonna frame out that ear a little more. Right in here. Hopefully my head isn't too much in the way. Okay, it just brings that ear out a little bit better. All right. It's a little deeper right here too. Just like so. Okay, let's go into a little light gray. Take some white. And we just contaminate the white a little bit. Really light gray. All right. And we're going to Hey, Davey. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now, this is an off-white. It was really a lighter version of the elephant's gray. And I'm just gonna, like that. Now, I've painted it the same color. But now I'll go into straight titanium white. Okay. wipe it off the paint, and I'll blend a little bit of that white from the tusk in there. But I really want the tusk out there to be the one that's catching most of that nice light. Like that. Pick and choose how much of it you want, your discretion. Okay, up to you. Up to you. Okay, let's take some of that white. We'll go back into this grayish brown here. A little more of that. And right up here, we're gonna scumble some more of this. And it comes out this way a little bit more. And I'll keep rubbing and scumbling till I get what I'm looking for with it. Now, as you see, only on certain areas where I want it a little brighter than other spots. Okay, because the sunlight on the beastie here will hit the animal in certain areas in certain ways and get it around the general part of the anatomy. Okay, and stay as close to possible with it. Okay. You don't need a whole lot of paint to do it. All right. I'll take a little touch of white, go back into that little grayish area. I'm using the side of the brush also. Yeah, please be careful. You know, we here in New York State already have a lot of tragedy. Just before the holidays even started, we already had deaths. We've had murders here. Senseless, stupid murders here. Stupid kids. You know, they're not even 30 years old. Just stupid. No kind of regard for life. It's just idiotic. And for the dumbest of reasons. And I mean dumbest of reasons. And it's happening. It's like they don't care. Truly don't care. It's so embarrassing sometimes. It's so sad. All right. Once again, certain areas, I mean, that light's really hitting. Once again, I'm using the side of the brush to add this. Okay. And you'd be surprised where the sun is actually hitting on the animal, because you're usually thinking, you know, inside foot, outside the foot. Not so much, or maybe too much, or whatever. But you'd be surprised where the sun is actually wrapping around beastie here. Okay. And as I'm looking and checking things out, now that it's dry, I can look and see where it needs to be even darker. Okay, and we're gonna do that. Once again, there's always different degrees of dark. All right, which is what I'm doing. Hey, Sugar Plum, hey. Happy Thanksgiving back. Happy Thanksgiving back. I'm just checking things out, looking to where I really need pretty much some jet black in there. And even though it needs to be super dark, I'm not gonna, this is just me, but I'm not gonna saturate everything super dark. Just where I know it needs to be on beastie here. and then just let it dry. Don't keep playing with it. Just let it dry and do what it do. And then you continue on from there. So you don't really want to rush it. All right. Once again, this is why I probably don't do wildlife too much, but it's all good. Because when I feel like doing it, I really enjoy it. And as you can see, you can build up your darks as well as, playing with your lights, hues and shades and tones. You just keep building up and building up and building up. Okay. And so as it dries, you'll see where it needs to be touched up with maybe just solid black, but you don't need to overdo it. Okay. Because you can do different degrees of darkness as well as you can do different degrees of light. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean just straight white, straight black. No. It's hues of the same color. Okay. I'm pulling my the hairs of the brush closer together. Still looking. I turn my body to make sure I got the correct coverage in what I'm doing here. I'm getting real detail-y now on certain areas of the beastie. All right, around the edge here. Be careful when you start to finger blend with this. Just be careful, because you can wipe away paint. So just be mindful of that. No, it's just really penny little coverings and things that I'm doing. Okay. All right. Yes, I'm getting detail-y with the wrinkles of Mr. Elephant. His ear things are really in there. Now, are you going to try to get every little crease or wrinkle? Not really. Get them in there generally. Okay. Pretty much what you're seeing me do right now. And keep those shapes in there. Okay. Right here, you got this little triangle thing happening, and I'm gonna put it in there too. Cleaning off the brush, still looking at her. Still looking at her. I'm gonna still look at her. Still look. Okay. Oh, you guys can't see that. Here, I'll show you. Maybe I can't. How can I do this where you guys can see it? That way. No, it won't show. Let's see. Can you guys see it without me? Nope, you guys won't be able to see it. Maybe if I do it this way. No. It's the way it's presented. You guys can't see it. I can, you guys can't. It's the light's just hitting right there. But I'm just judging this, make sure it's dark as I want it to be. You can't see it with the camera light. I can, but you guys can't. All I gotta do is just twist my head and I can see it. Or I can just shut the light off. It's slowly, well, you guys can't tell, but it's slowly, what is it? Going on 3 o'clock. It's slowly trying, it's overcast, you know. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm going back into my pure titanium white because the other titanium white is totally dry. And I'm gonna just build up some of that brightness on his tusk right in about here. Slowly bring it out and we'll build that up a little bit more. We'll build up that edge right in here. Only on the bottom there. Mostly up front here. Curve it. Alright, like that. Still looking at it. I'll wipe off some of the white here. I don't have to add any super highlights because it's really not in the painting to do so. Okay, not really. Once again, creative license. If you want to add that, you can add that. Okay, if you need to add that, if you feel like you want to add that, then you know you can add that, but it doesn't really necessarily need it. Okay, let's go into a wee bit of black. All right, we're gonna come under Beastie. We're gonna come in here, leave a little gap, and join it there. Then come add that dark in there like that. Come on across. Pitch black underneath. Your discretion how much of that you want. All right, it just establishes weight for a Beastie. Okay, and it helps you with your trip with the quad also. You follow me? All right, I'm still looking because we're about 98% done with Beastie. 98%. I'm just putting a little dark by the tree here. We'll shadow some of that. And when you add the dark, it doesn't have to be super jet black, you know, stuff like that. Don't be so super extreme with it. All right. As I'm staring at it, as I'm looking at it, I think we're somewhat all right. Okay. It's good to see you, Sugar Plum. All right. Now it's getting a little dusky in here, but I think you guys can pretty much see this. This is all right. It's cool. I think we're all right. Let me see something here. I think that's about as bright as I can get this. I don't think I need it to be any brighter anyway. No. I see I can turn it down. All right. No, I think we're good. I don't think I need to change the color on it either. I think the color's fine. A little more blue, a little more brown than the normal light. But I think we're good. We can take this off. All right. We're gonna do something about that thing hitting. All right, let's go to screen 4. All right, that's the way it looks. All right. All right, that's the way she's looking. I don't think I have to really touch the. Now I don't have my overhead light on. Okay. But that's the way she's looking. Like I say, it looks a little light here, but it's not as light as you think. Okay, that's just where the light happens to hit. But it's hitting in a circular fashion because there's light here and there's light over here. So it kind of evens that all out. Let's see, I don't think I really need to add any more. There's a little spot I can do a little something with. Let me get my brush, and I'll just use. I'm not going to use total black, but I see a spot here. It's by the tail, right in here. It's like the letter U. Okay, and it comes down a little bit, and then it comes back out. All right. Got a little curve there. So part of that tail's hitting a little bit. Once again, I'm looking for little detail-y things that, All right. Thank you, Madonna. Technically, what I would done was shorten it a little bit, but once again, it's in all 4 parts. Being that the elephant is a little longer, okay, I will probably space these longer, spread it out maybe, or keep them close. It depends on how I want to look at it. All right, let's see if I can get away with this while we're here. I probably would have to pull it back a little bit. Now remember what I told you about the X-Acto knife? It's doing it right now. So you take your X-Acto knife. Excuse my head, I know my head is definitely in the way of this. And I'm actually have to cut the paint. Okay. Once you see what I mean? Okay. We'll put it right about here. Now let me do it this way. I'm pressing it pretty good. Now, when I press it pretty good like that, the chances of me jumping onto the wood itself, onto the art, it decreases. So I'm putting it in. I'm really just pressing it in there. See, there. All right. So now you see what I'm talking about here. I'm gonna go from the bottom up here. I'm pressing it down pretty good. The blade doesn't have really much further to go, but in between the 2 creases, so you're not gonna skip like that. There. All right. We could probably keep him there and just move this one. If it lets me. There we go. All right. Oh, bring him down a little bit there. All right. Well, there it goes. So imagine putting a. Make it a little further. All right. Stay. Sit, boo boo, sit. All right. That's what she looks like. Let's put the focus back on it there. All right. Actually, this needs to be a little lower. Okay. Yeah, we're good. All right. That's what she's looking like. That's what it looks like. I'll probably take the photo like that too, to show that it is a quad. All right. As long as it stays there and stays somewhat even. Make sure this one's a little low. I'll place it correctly here. All right. Well, there you be. I'll leave it be. Yeah, I'll leave it be. Okay, but that's the way she's looking. All right. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. I don't know who else is coming on later on this evening. It's only 3 o'clock. So, I don't know. Thank you, Madonna. Like I said, I should be able to take a pretty decent picture of this thing. Let's see. Yeah, I probably could. I might have to turn on my other light. I might be able to do it. If I turn on my upper light, 'cause right now I got a shadow. As you can see with my hand, obviously I got a shadow right there. So what I'll do is that I'll probably end up moving this and then take the picture of it. This here kind of knocks that out a little bit. Yeah, it does. It does knock it out a little bit. I can maybe. I'll take a quick picture of it. I usually take a few pictures of it, and then I'll check. Whoops! I'll check it out. I just took a picture of my thigh. We can throw that in the garbage. All right, let's see what it looks like. I guess it's somewhat okay. I guess she's all right. I guess it'll somewhat do. I think it'd be all right to send that. And then I would just email it to myself. Because iPhones are kind of funky and funny when it comes to stuff like this. All right. I can take out the extra light. So let me just, actually before I do that, I'll do it this way. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this. Let me make sure I pick out the right one I want. Yeah, I'll deal with that one. All right. Press select. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Let's upload this to myself. You guys, I hear the ring go off. All right, you'll hear it. It'll make that weird ring. Very good. All right. All right. You guys know the deal. I'll be making a thumbnail. I'll be making it'll be posted on Instagram. It'll be posted on Facebook. Got to make a thumbnail for this. I'm glad to see you guys here. Be safe. Enjoy your meal. Be careful. Watch yourselves. All right. Thank you very much, Davey. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Be safe. Don't get sick. And I shall see everybody when I see you. I don't know if I'll do another one tonight or not. I'll see if, Sonia or somebody's on, or Bruce comes back on. Who knows? All right. I see you when I see you. You guys take care. Thank you for watching.